Here's a daisy, and I actually like the taste of the daisy flower. Sometimes it reminds me of carrot. This is a tall, spindly lily plant, and you can dig it up, and there's a bulb a good 10 to 12 inches down. Very difficult to get at, and this particular species doesn't taste that good. It's kind of a soapy taste. So here's another species of pea or legume. I'm not familiar with this one. I don't know if it's edible. Therefore, the rule is, if you are not positive it's edible, then definitely do not eat it. So this one is Brodea. It's in the lily family. You can see down below here, if you were to dig about 6 to 8 inches down, there's a bulb. And the bulb on this particular Brodea is quite tasty. Depending on the soil, it can be difficult to get at. I forgot to mention earlier about the mustard plant. I love the taste of the mustard flower. Gives it a peppery taste similar to the pod that I showed earlier. Here's another little lily, a very pretty and petite one. And again, down in the ground, about 6 inches, there is a bulb, and it's quite tasty as well. This plant with the parachute pods is a Agosaurus. You can light the down and it will burn and roast the seeds at the same time, and then the seeds are quite tasty. Before the plant gets too old, you can eat the leaves. I like them cooked best. Here's a better example of the parachutes. You can see all those seeds down in there. Here's a rather prickly thistle plant. Thistles, you can carve away the spines and eat the soft pith on the inside of the stalk. And also the root can be eaten. Again, it will taste better before the flower appears, and also if it's growing in sandy soil. And here is salsify. Salsify produces these beautiful parachutes, and the seeds down in there are excellent when they're dry. And also you can take the root and eat it, again before the flower appears. And salsify root will taste much better growing in sandy soil. There's a different species of clover. It's a much larger leaf. You get more bang for your buck when you collect it and cook it. Again, our bodies can't handle a lot of it, so eat it sparingly. Here's a small species of rush, and what you eat is the roots and then the white tender portion at the bottom. When the seeds dry, you can eat them as well. They like to be around water and moist areas. There's another species of Brodea. You can dig down in there and get that bulb out of there. Look at the size of this caterpillar here. Look at that guy. He's a beauty, eh? He's big. That's a meal. I like to cook them. Here's a tall species of grass. And look at all of the flowers coming off there. That's full of pollen. You can eat that. And when the seeds dry in there later on, you can winnow it by rubbing it between your hands and allowing the seeds to drop onto your shirt, and the chaff will blow away. And all that pollen is just super rich with proteins and vitamins and minerals. There's a honeysuckle vine growing here. When it opens up like this one, you could take the flower, pop it off there, and at the very bottom there is the nectar collected. Tastes like honey. Bees hadn't gotten that one yet. It's very tasty. So here's dandelion. Everybody is familiar with the plant, but what you may not be familiar with is if you cut the leaf away from the vein or the stem of the leaf and just eat the leaf portion, and it'll be way less bitter. Again, this is one of those plants that you want to collect it in a moist, shaded area. It'll be less bitter. So when the flower opens up, the petals are delicious. They're very sweet, not bitter at all. Underground is the root. Collect it, dig it up, lay it out, let it dry. When it's very brittle, break it up, make a powder out of it, add that to hot water and drink it like a coffee substitute. Poison hemlock, and it grows quite prolifically here in California. Let's get closer so you can see the telltale purple spots on the stem itself. Those little purple spots there are a good indication. This plant is brutal in that a piece the size of my thumb is enough to kill a guy in like 45 minutes. Here is a very, very nice plant. The anise or anise. Boy, does this ever smell good. It's like a licorice smell. And a great spice to liven up your salads. Here's a bushed out and tall dock. And those seeds, when they dry, you can eat them. Before the flowers and seeds appear, you can eat the leaves when they're young and tender, as well as the stems. And then when the stalks dry, you can use it to spin a coal with a hand drill set. Makes a great drill.